Good evening and welcome to I'm Chris Parnell.
Reporting from Moscow.
Tbilisi.
Times Square.
May your dreams be your only boundaries in life.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of GHS-TV's award-winning talk show, Crosstalk. I'm your host, Renee Mam. Each week in this time slot, we take a look at different issues, personalities, and events that affect you and our community. Clubs, and being a member of one, are a very important part of every high school. But here at Germantown High, there are clubs that serve a greater purpose than just a place for students to socialize. This week, we are highlighting some of the organizations who have made it their mission to improve the community. Later in the show, we'll take a look at the organizations supporting Best Buddies, Angel Tree, and many more. But first, let's take a look at the good a new GHS charity is doing for children thousands of miles away.
Founded by graduating IB senior Ahil Shirmuhammad, Frames for Change is a service project that aims to collect used eyeglass frames to send to the children in Mombasa, Kenya. Though it started out as a small service project, Frames for Change has the potential to grow into something much bigger.
Hopefully after this year's graduation, I will get the chance to travel back to Kenya, to Mombasa, Nairobi, even to Port Reitz Academy, and look at the impact that Frames for Change has had on these children and the families in the local area. Okay.
Joining me now are Ahil Shirmuhammad, the founder of Frames for Change, and Stephanie Thomas, the faculty sponsor. Thank you both for coming on the show. Ahil, you are the founder, as we heard in the video. Can you tell us about the trip that sparked the idea for Frames for Change?
Yes, of course. So it was the summer after my freshman year. I had been admitted to a program. It was a program through the Aga Khan Development Network called Global Encounters. And through this program, I was able to spend up to 5 weeks in Mombasa, Nairobi, Kenya. So when I went to visit, I did a lot of community service work in the local area and throughout the different cities in the country. And I worked at a boarding school for mentally and physically handicapped children called Port Reitz Academy. And these children had the same exact dreams and visions as children here do today. They want to be soccer players, lawyers, doctors, government officials, and help people in need. But there was one thing stopping them, and that was their education. They had trouble focusing in the classroom because they couldn't see what was on the board, see the numbers and letters in front of them, and I just wanted to be able to help them out. And I realized the best way to do that is to find out what the problem was. So I talked to a lot of the officials and principals and families of the students and realized that the children and their families have a trouble affording frames for glasses for their children. And I realized that I can help with this problem. So I decided to come home and start Frames for Change.
So Ms. Thomas, what kinds of jobs are the students within Frames for Change working on?
Well, basically they designed the whole organization from the bottom up. They brainstormed which departments that they needed. Within the departments, they developed a game plan. So we have the art and marketing department, we have the business department, we have the production department, and they designed this all by themselves. They set themselves goals and then they accomplished the goals. So basically it's an organization from the ground up designed and created by students.
You receive eyeglass frames from the student body at GHS, but do you also receive contributions from outside?
Well, one of the things that the student-led organization decided to do was start calling optometrists in the area. And several of the calls ended up being very productive. Several optometrists in the area donated hundreds of frames to us that they were, unable to use were no longer in style, and it was wonderful. We have over 1,000 frames.
So these donations come from optometrists. Do we have students going out and getting them?
Yes, what we've done is we've contacted these optometrists and we've talked to them, explaining them the situation we have at hand, and they've agreed to let us place collection boxes in their offices. So every other week we stop by these optometrist locations and we check to see how many glasses have been donated, either by the optometrists themselves or their clients or anyone in the local area that's heard about our project. And so far it's been great. We've been raising a lot of glasses throughout this project.
So at the moment, shipping is becoming a roadblock in your project. Can you tell us what the problem has been?
Well, we've emailed several different people. We've emailed FedEx. We've emailed the
U.S. Embassy.
Yeah, the U.S. Embassy in Kenya. From what we understand, the import taxes can be quite preclusive. So we're trying to figure out what the best way is to get them there, and we're just waiting. We're waiting to hear back from several people.
Well, this project not only is an amazing IB charity, but it also allows the IB students to connect with the community. Who have specifically you been reaching out to?
So there are a lot of different people in the areas that we've been reaching out to, not just students at Germantown High School. I know a lot of students at Carterville High School as well have heard about our project and have been interested, wanting to help out as much as they can, and hopefully the word will spread. There are also local churches in the area that have helped donate glasses and are spreading the word about our project as well. So hopefully in the near future the word will be gaining widespread attention, and that this project will become not just a project for Germantown High School, but a project for the entire community as well.
One of the contacts, Ms. Thomas, is the 2020 organization. Can you tell us about your spark in the partnership with them?
Well, we were given their number from one of the optometrists. The optometrist said that they can't really use empty eyeglass frames, and so that maybe we could trade off some frames with them, and it ended up being that way. They gave us our start of over 300 frames, and we have given them frames that are filled with prescriptions as well. Probably not as much as they've given us, but they've also sort of been really instrumental in helping us figure out what those roadblocks to shipping are. And in addition to that, they have also become one of our projects for the National Honor Society and for the IB. So anyone who needs CAS hours, service hours, or just wants to volunteer can go volunteer for them.
So this is an IB charity, and it highlights some of the most basic IB principles. Can you tell us how it exemplifies the IB principle of service?
Well, it's perfect for service, but it is one of the goals of the IB program to develop responsible, global-minded citizens, and this does all of that. It's not only effective within the community as a charity, but it's also effective overseas in Kenya, and we hope to sort of broaden it out eventually.
So Ahil, what has been the most rewarding part as founder of Frames for Change?
Oh, that's a tough question there. There's so many different rewards that have come with this project. The sense of feeling that you're making a change in the life of children thousands of miles away, but to know that you've actually met them, you've talked to them, you know what they want to achieve in life, and to know that you're helping them achieve their dreams and goals is something that you just can't really explain. It's a feeling that it's like you're doing the right thing. And I just feel like that's the most rewarding part about this entire project in total.
Well, thank you so much for being with us
thank
today.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you to Ahil Shir-Muhammad and Stephanie Thomas for being on the show today. Right now we have to take a short break. When we return, Sylvia Hancock and Tythea Brunson will join us to talk about Student Government Association and the many charities it supports.
I can't believe we broke Old Man Hennessy's window.
Correction, dude. You broke. I just threw the ball.
This is really bad. What are we gonna do?
Dude, kiss your life goodbye.
Yeah.
Sorry, kid.
Keep smiling, keep shining.
was an accident, and we can fix the window. I'll come with you.
GHS-TV has a new website. You can now view any of our shows on our new media pages. Or check out the latest Wake Up Germantown or Red Devil postgame. As always, we're streaming live 24/7. Just visit ghstv.org today.
Welcome back to Crosstalk. I'm Renee Ma'am. On the show, we are talking about high school organizations that are giving back to the community. Joining me right now is Sylvia Hancock, faculty sponsor of GHS's Student Government Association and student member Tythea Brunson. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Ms. Hancock, you and the students have already started the Angel Tree fundraiser. Can you tell us how that's going so far?
Well, so far we have adopted 20 angels this year, and the first period classes and clubs that have adopted these angels are busy now getting the gifts that these kids have requested. And on December 3rd, Salvation Army will come pick up the gifts.
So this is an annual fundraiser that GHS does, and it impacts so many children around the community. How long has Germantown High School participated in this?
I've been doing student government for 25 years, and they were doing Angel Tree that long. There are over 5,000 kids in the city that need this, and they qualify for this program, and we always try to pitch in either helping sponsor an angel or providing bikes for the forgotten angels.
Tythea, you are a member of the student government. What other charity projects do the SGA members participate in?
Well, we participate in Lifeblood and Make-A-Wish and St. Jude Project.
The biggest charity project that you sponsor is the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We know that last year was a huge success. Can you tell us about that?
Well, every year we raise $6,000 for our Make-A-Wish person, which we don't know until we send our check in who it's going to be. And it is really a school-wide project because the members of SGA are responsible for collecting $100, and everybody's seen them running through the lunchrooms and the halls collecting money. And it pretty much is a school-wide. Teachers participate by donating $50 to wear jeans. Last year, the little girl spent the weekend with Megan Trainor, and it was an awesome wish. Every year really has been an awesome wish. They've all been different, and we've already made our goal this year, sent our money in. We're just waiting now to find out who we're going to grant, whose wish we're going to grant.
Do you have any plans for the next?
We don't know anything. Make-A-Wish pretty much tells us this is what this child wants, and they take the money and do it, and we just present it to them.
How did Germantown High School get involved with Make-A-Wish?
Let's see. I was approached by Make-A-Wish, I don't know how many years ago. We've been doing it for quite some time now, and we tried it because we were doing Habitat for Humanity, and it was somebody that was affiliated with Habitat for Humanity had asked if we'd ever done that. And I was approached, we tried it, we did it, we loved it. So we've kept it up ever since. So it's been probably about 13, 14 years that we've been doing Make-A-Wish here.
So you have a lot of donations coming in from left and right. How do you keep up with the donations, and how do you send them off?
Well, the donations are all put into an account. It's a Make-A-Wish account. And once we reach our goal, and we always try to go over about $500 because we do end up buying like luggage and different items that the child needs. And we mail a check in to Make-A-Wish, and they take it from there.
Lifeblood is another big SGA project that you are a part of. Tell us about SGA's involvement with Lifeblood Mid-South.
We organize the drives here for the students during the school day twice a year. Anybody 16 years and older can donate. Every successful pint of blood that we get donated, we qualify for a scholarship. If we get 165 pints donated from kids, on those days, or if they go and do it in Germantown High School's name, which I think some of the production staff went and donated in the name of the school, that counts for us. It provides scholarships, and last year we gave 2 scholarships to people. Every year we try to give at least a $500 scholarship to someone who's donated the most.
Tythia, you are involved in a lot of the SGA projects. Which do you think is the highlight of the SGA year?
I think Make-A-Wish is the biggest one because it gets the whole school involved and helping a young child grant their wish and doing something that they want to do.
As a student of the SGA, what's your responsibility?
My responsibility is to make sure that I'm doing all the work that Ms. Hancock, our sponsor, tells us to do as far as charity work and being on top of things, and just making sure the school as a whole also gets involved with everything that we do.
So when it comes to these fundraisers, what ways do you and the fellow SGA members help to help out with those fundraisers?
Well, sometimes we ask other students to help us out, use social media, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, telling people to do this, do that, and just spreading the word around the school.
Ms. Hancock, do you plan on expanding on the fundraisers in SGA?
No. I'm going to keep the ones that we have because they are successful. Like the St. Jude project is a new one. We were approached by the people at St. Jude, and we bring in the Halloween candy, and that's becoming a big project as well. And we sent in over 350 of the big bags of fun-size candy to the kids who can't go trick-or-treating, and the nurses prepare bags for them, and they go to stations, so the patients at St. Jude are able to kind of have their own little private trick-or-treat. And our kids are really happy to be able to be a part of that. And we involve clubs like Beta Club and Honor Society, but mostly Beta Club. They do it for projects and help us out.
Did this project start this year?
No, St. Jude this is the 4th year. It used to be Hanley Elementary, and we've been doing Hanley Elementary. We took that on as a school that we sponsored, but once they changed principals, we moved on and took over St. Jude.
What other fundraisers would you like to sponsor in the future?
I think that we do our share. The ones that we do, I leave the other ones to the other clubs like Key Club, and there's a lot to go around. I still like Habitat for Humanity. That's one that's real close to me, but I believe there's a Habitat for Humanity club here now. So,
what's been the most rewarding part about being involved with all these fundraisers, Tythia?
It just feels good to help kids in need with anything.
Thank you so much, both of you, for coming on the show today to talk with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today, Sylvia Hancock and Tythia Brunson. When we return, Casey Newcomb from Memphis Best Buddies and Sarah Mayers, president of GHS Best Buddies Club, will join us to talk about student involvement in the peer program.
Your fault. You!
My fault?
Your fault. Your fault.
You're right.
What?
It's my fault.
What do you mean your fault?
Just the two of us. You're right, it's my fault. We can make it. Maybe both of us?
Maybe just you.
GHS-TV has a new website. You can now view any of our shows on our new media pages. Or check out the latest Wake Up Germantown or Red Devil postgame. As always, we're streaming live 24/7. Just visit ghstv.org today.
Welcome back to GHS-TV's award-winning talk show, Crosstalk. I'm your host, Dranimi Ma'am. This week we are looking at Germantown High School clubs that go above and beyond to help the community. Before we get to our last guests, let's take a look at GHS's involvement in Memphis Best Buddies.
Merle and Stuckey are students at Germantown High School, one of more than 24 local schools that partake in the Best Buddies program. There's always something for Best Buddies to do together, including an event that is a rite of passage for all teens. But events like prom aren't possible without volunteers and donations. The money raised will ensure other kids like Isaiah will always have somebody that they can rely on.
Knowing that Isaiah always has a friend at school, no matter what, which is me, it's a good feeling.
She's a bad buddy, and she's a really good buddy.
Joining me now are Casey Newcomb, Program Manager of Memphis Best Buddies, and student Sarah Mayers, President of the GHS Best Buddies Club. Thank you both for joining us today. So, Mr. Newcomb, for those who don't know about Best Buddies, can you explain what it is?
Yeah, definitely. So what Best Buddies is we have middle schools, high schools, and colleges right now in Memphis, and we take a person with a disability and a person without a disability, and from there we'll match them up. First off, I'll set up an officer corps. Sarah's our president here at Germantown, and they'll start setting up the chapter, but we get people to sign up, and then we set up matches, and from there we have our match party. It's kind of a lot of fun. We like to make it pretty big and themed, and then they get a buddy from that point. And their buddy for the rest of the year, they hang out and go to games or movies or get ice cream or whatever you would do with a typical friend. So,
how did Best Buddies get to Memphis?
Best Buddies came to Memphis about 2.5, 3 years ago now. We're running on our 3-year mark. Initially, our area director, Melissa Todd, was visiting in Nashville, which is where it started in Tennessee. And she became friends with our main director there, Annalise. And she wanted to bring it to Memphis, but we had to raise a hefty amount of money in order to do that. So she raised money for 2 years. And then we opened our Memphis office. And that was solely off of just local businesses and whatnot donating to bring it here to Memphis.
Mr. Newcomb, you are the program manager for Best Buddies. Can you tell us what your job entails?
Yes, as a program manager, I'm really, our programs are based on the students. My job's kind of just helping direct to the students. So I'll go to a school, set up the program, and the faculty will help me out with selecting a chapter president. And that's when we first start the school. From then on, the chapter president typically gets voted in or chosen by our faculty advisor. From there, I give the chapter president and the officer corps tools to run the chapter. So I do less than probably what they do. So.
Well, Sarah, you are the chapter president for Best Buddies at Germantown High School. How did you get involved?
I've always had a special interest in helping people with special needs and just helping out with them. And my sophomore year of high school, I was a teacher assistant for one of the teachers. And I found out about the club, so I joined right away. And I became the vice president the first year Best Buddies was here. And then this year, I'm the president.
What are you working on at the moment?
At the moment, well, every month we have a different activity. So last month we had our match party where we had about 16 matches. And then this month we're planning hopefully a Thanksgiving dinner. We had it last year and the kids loved it. It's so much fun to hang out at a house and just have dinner and watch a movie.
One of the events and the highlights of the years for Best Buddies is the Best Buddies prom. What does it mean for the buddy pairs to be a part of this?
Well, the Best Buddies prom is great. It's like a regular prom. I'd say it's much more fun. For the buddy, they get to go pick out a dress or a tuxedo, and then their buddy pairs their date. And so they just go and have fun, and there's food, and there's so many people there, and it is just a great bonding time.
Mr. Newcomb, the annual gala just hit off, and can you tell us how that went?
Yeah, definitely. We actually had it this past Saturday. And there was a great turnout. We sold out the event. 300 people showed up at the Cadre building downtown. That was kind of a wine and casino kind of night, so more for the older people, I guess. But it turned out great. We had a live and silent auction along with some poker games and whatnot. So it was a lot of fun.
How does this gala benefit Best Buddies?
Our gala right now, we have 4 or 5 main fundraisers throughout the year, and this is one of our biggest fundraisers. So what it does is it raises money to support our staff and then our growth of Best Buddies in Memphis.
Sarah, one of the greatest things about Best Buddies is the feedback you get from the parents and the students. How can a student apply to be in Best Buddies?
Well, they can go see Miss Walden at our high school and they can find out how to join, or they can come find me, and it's really easy. You just sign up online, and then from there we pair you with a buddy. We have peer buddies or associate members, and if you're an associate member, you don't have a buddy, but you still come to all the organizations and the events. So really there's many ways you can be involved in the club.
What impact do you think it has on the students who get involved in this program?
Well, it's definitely rewarding, and it's great to see the friendships that have come together. We try to pair people that have the same interests, and so it's fun to see them grow, and they become so close. Some kids join thinking that they probably won't meet anybody and it'll just be another club, but you definitely see some changes in people's personalities.
Mr. Newcomb, this chapter at Germantown High School is one of many. How many local chapters are there in Memphis?
Locally right now we are at 27, and I believe when we started out 3 years ago we had 5, then moved to 14, and this year we have 27. Next year we're trying to almost double that size. So.
We've already explained how a school would start a chapter, but what advice would you give a school to start a chapter?
If a school's looking to start a chapter, what's really great for us, and I think for the faculty, is to get student interest. The faculty at schools like to see when students are interested in a program, because they're going to want to, if the students are motivated, the faculty is going to be motivated as well. From there, I can contact the faculty and let them know, and then I also can come do a presentation.
Sarah, what is your favorite part about being in Best Buddies?
Well, there's a lot of different things. As the president, I pair the matches together, and that's so much fun because I get to go through and look at their profiles and really make sure that they're going to have a good time, and that's so much fun. And something that I feel everybody enjoys is just hanging out. At our match party, we played basketball, played volleyball, kicked the soccer ball around, and everybody, it's just always an all-around great time.
Well, thank you both for coming on the show to talk with us. Yeah. I want to thank all of our guests for appearing on our show today to talk about Germantown High School's organizations and their efforts to make the community a better place. Remember, Crosstalk can be seen each week at 9:30 a.m. and 7 p.m. on Mondays, 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. Thursdays, and 7:30 p.m. on Sundays. For more information on our programming, please check us out on the web at GHS-TV.org, where we are streaming live 24 hours a day. You can also check us out on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Renee Ma'am. From all of us at GHS-TV, thank you for watching Crosstalk, and I hope to see you again.